Today, from Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, it's the re-gauge of the NFL on EA Sports.
Both of these teams about to reach the halfway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And with a marker down, he's up just past the 25-yard line, but I think they're going to be going backwards. Let's check the call. Well, that holding call set him up with not great field position.
It's not a great starting field position as well.
Automatic first down.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. They'll run. It's Sanders. They'll rumble for about 6 up across the 20 to the 22.
Miles Sanders.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent game.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 22-yard line.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. From the gun, it's Hurts. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance. Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Up from his linebacker spot, Deion Jones making the play. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. And not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground. Honed it.
Accelerating, and off he goes. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Miles Sanders, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles have taken the early lead.
Earlier in the week when they had their scouting report meeting, this was the explosiveness that they talked about trying to contain. They were concerned about it all week, yet he still did it to them. Wonder how that's going to carry over the rest of the game.
Rosas good with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. First go on offense for the Giants under the guidance of Daniel Jones, the former Duke Blue Devil.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him the win. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Throwing Jones. He's going to let this one go deep. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spent too much time with me. Okay, I'll side with you on this one. This is the correct call.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Now Jones. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out.
Pass interference. Defense.
And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty. No question there.
You don't think they spent a couple seconds mulling over what the penalty would do for them?
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
Jones throwing for it. And no, it falls incomplete. So the two-point conversion, no good. So why go for that there? First half, you could have tied the game at 7. Why try to get the lead?
Feels like an analytics call, doesn't it? That's starting to really get into the game where they're studying where you can make extra points and the whole deal and, get an advantage. But I don't know that we have enough data yet to really say this is the right play or the wrong play. Maybe in 2 or 3 more NFL seasons. Exactly. 2 or 3 more NFL seasons, they will have a much better study and much better case of what we're going to do.
So back onto the field, here come the Eagles for their second drive. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the #1 thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action, now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. People to kiss it on the ground. Nice job there of utilizing his big target. He didn't overthink it. Understands the catch radius, understands that he knows how to use his body to keep defenders away from the ball, and puts it right out there for the nice pickup.
The tackle by Matthew Ioannidis.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
And this is why aggressive defense coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Intended for Dawson Knox.
Now that's a good bounce back after giving up a touchdown on the opening drive. Just 1 first down permitted and then out. Obviously no loss of confidence with that defense, and now they get to turn it back to their offense.
So on 4th down, kicking it away here, Michael Pilardi. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. So the Giants getting the football back here for their second drive. Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Throwing to start the drive. Jones, he's got a man, complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 39 yards there, a big one. Now that's a catch of some significance. It's number 631 of his career, and why that's significant, it ties him with Hall of Famer Raymond Berry.
Who was one of the most precise route runners at any position during his time in his career. So I think that we're seeing something very similar here. He may not have known Raymond Berry, but he goes about his business the same way. Understands how defenses are going to play, understands where the leverage is, and goes away from it to the tune of 631 catches.
On the pickup. 2nd and 6.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Back to throw. Jones. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. 23 yards the pickup there.
Press coverage on the outside, and for defenders, that's the ultimate risk-reward. If you take the risk,
New York.
Can you reward yourself by keeping them on the line of scrimmage? But no, not on that one. Got the step on him. Now it's just a matter of laying the ball out there for him to go get it.
After one, a one-point game, 7-6.
7, Giants 6.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. A first down carry for Barkley. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Giants have taken the lead. Great call to hand that one off, and his running back did the rest.
Someone read their keys correctly, and on the defensive side of the ball, they certainly did not, because they really essentially were just going to swarm the quarterback. They kind of guessed themselves out of the play, and guess who benefited? The guy with the football.
They'll look to throw, and it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off with great anticipation, and he is going to be stopped on the return at his own 3-yard line.
It's interesting that when it comes to two-point conversions, even heavy run teams tend to throw the ball in these situations. In this case, this one was intercepted.
Yeah, they weren't fooled. They were ready for the pass, picked it off. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The Eagles coming out as they get ready and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating first down. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Hurts sets up to throw it. Flush to his right. He'll have a first down past the 40. Avoids him at the 40. And all the way inside the 35 before he goes out of bounds. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down. So he wanted to pass it, but that thing turned out much better.
And the crowd really responded, didn't they? They always like it better when the quarterback is scrambling around, actually takes off and runs downfield. And that's exactly what he did.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They'll run with Sanders. And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side. Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12.
11-yard line. A gain of 9 brings up 2nd and 1.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. They go back to the ground with Sanders. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
Well, I would have figured after the 9-yard run on the previous play, getting 1 more yard wouldn't have been much of a problem. But apparently it was, and now it's 3rd down.
And the Giants will go with 6 defensive backs here on 3rd. Throwing is Hurts. His pass caught at the 4. And the Eagles are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy.
And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Miles Sanders with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And once again, the Eagles are back out in front. And always always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Now after the touchdown, here's Roses on to kick it away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
At their own 30-yard line.
Back on offense, New York gets set to take over. Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 right at the 30. He'll drop to throw. He'll drop it off with Saquon Barkley. Excellent job pushing through tacklers that time to pick up 6. The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. Jones with a handoff to Barkley. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
He's brought down.
That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
And he's going to have a 1st down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line.
The tackle made.
And while it didn't work very well on that play, defenders on 3rd and short know it's going to be a quick read. And really, the quarterback's just going to turn around and hand it off. So that way, you're able to diagnose the play and try and get to the point of attack. But when you're dealing with a fullback, it's hard to knock him backwards.
Calling a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
It's now 2nd and 6.
Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
A gain of 9 yards. 1st down, New York.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Airing one out for Boyd, and that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. A little too aggressive defensively, and the flag comes out.
And no one trying to cover is going to like a call going against them, but you have to like the effort there. Went for the interception, just unable to get it, and the flag did come out.
So it's 1st and goal, and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. Did a nice job to break free of 1 tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Now this is Lane again, and he takes it into the end zone for a Giant TD. It's the fullback with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Giants are once again going to retake the lead. So simple math here in the first half. They've had 3 drives offensively, and they have scored every time, and they've got the lead.
Well, whenever we talk about adjustments, we usually talk about an offense making adjustments, right? This is all about the defense. They've got to figure out some way, somehow to slow them down. Do they blitz a little bit more? Do they play more zone coverage? Right now, they don't know where to go because they're hitting them in every direction.
Is successful and makes the score Giants.
So they elect to pass there on the 2-point try. Sometimes could prove risky. There it worked out.
Yeah, and I love how you bring up that it can prove risky, because if you get it intercepted and they return it, that's 2 points for the defense, but not on that play.
Fielded near the back of the end zone, and no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
At their own 20.
Now back to work for Miles Sanders in the Philly. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And looking at this situation, Charles, you got more than a minute. You've got all 3 timeouts. Probably no need to play this safe.
So what you're saying is that we're doing a little bit of a mind meld here, aren't we? Because I'm thinking along the same lines as you. This amount of time, don't be compelled to play it too safe. This is a chance to get points on the board. Press it a little bit.
Yeah, especially since a touchdown here gets you the lead. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Hurts. It's complete to Parker left side. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
56, Mike, 56, Mike.
Here's Hurts to throw. Steps away to his... Hurts fumbles it. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. Hold on the play. You think about it, Charles, this is not a quarterback that's used to running the football a lot. In that time, he was loose with it, had it knocked free.
He always has to think to himself that there's always going to be traffic around because of what you just said. Not that elusive, not going to get into the open field very often. Remember, he's not Lamar Jackson, not Michael Vick back in the day. Always has to protect the football because there's always going to be people around.
He's going to look deep down the field. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in.
Complete.
A big play there just before halftime. 56 yards. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in. But when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, brings me right out of my seat.
Jones now on 1st and 10 to the end zone, but it's incomplete. Tyler Boyd, the former Pitt Panther, was the target, but it's going to be 2nd down.
Tre'Davious White on the covering.
Throwing again. Jones looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Tyler Boyd, the intended receiver. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
Now Jones to throw on 3rd down. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
He certainly had a good game throwing the ball so far, but I think he was trying to take that from good to great with that throw, trying to get one downfield.
So a challenge coming down from the booth, and that's where these challenges come from, of course, in the final 2 minutes of the half.
Yeah, now if we're going to New York, right? That's command central for the officials. They'll talk, they'll take a look at it, communicate with the referee at the game site, and issue a final decision because they do have the final call now.
So the ref makes a call, no touchdown there, wipe it off the board. The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And my goodness, this is incomplete. The Giants go on 4th, but come up empty. And the Eagles defense able to hold.
No surprise, they try to throw the ball on 4th down, but it gets batted down. They don't pick it up.
Well, a little football 101. When you're going toward that quarterback, you see he's going to start to throw. Get your hands up,
Get your hands up, affect the play, and then everyone, get your hands up. When the ball gets to the receiver, moment of truth, knock it away.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line so they thought they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing,
20-yard line.
not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here?
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Hi again, everybody. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the league here in the unofficial midway point, Week 8 of the NFL season. We'll get started up at Lucas Oil Stadium in the capital city of Indianapolis. And it's the Colts who have the lead in the second quarter. Nick Chubb has a touchdown run. From there, we head to Minneapolis to check on the Vikings at home at US Bank Stadium. And they've got the lead over the visiting Chicago Bears. The Vikings looking to sew that one up, and they look to be in pretty good shape. Finally, let's get you to Baltimore and check on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And they've got the lead in their matchup with the Tampa Bay Bucks. Lamar Jackson has a touchdown pass.
Well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL.
Rosa set to kick off.
Second half ready to get rolling. The Giants with a lead, and they are set to receive this kick. And we will not see a return to start the half, as this will be a touchback. So now the Giants set to take over on offense. They've got the lead right now in this ball game, and they got the victory last week against the Rams, so some good momentum as they come up 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Jones. He'll air this one out for Boyd. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Not the way you envision things to start out the third quarter. One play and already a turnover.
It's interesting. You and I were talking with the coach, and he talked about how at halftime, as a play caller, he wanted to make sure he got a new script going for the second half, not just the one that he operated off of to start the game. Nowhere on that script did it have that result.
So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week in our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to. And if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency breakers right now. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
It's 4th down.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
The Giants take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
New York ready to go again offensively. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards from all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. Looking to throw. Jones. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And the return across midfield and to the 46-yard line.
Jones pass.
Second straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily, but I also wonder if it's going to unnerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one? Or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
Now back to work for Miles Sanders in the Philly offense. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's gotten off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you're doing across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps and maybe stopping him before he can get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
Yeah, in this case.
At the Giants' 48-yard.
Second down, here's Hurts. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4,
the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. They were trying to set up that screen, trying to get that screen to formulate. Took too long.
Ends up taking a sack, and that leads you to a couple of other questions. Number one, why don't you just get rid of the football near the screen guy so that you don't take an interception? But really, the big one, they just took everything away, and he was really kind of flummoxed on that play and ended up taking the sack.
And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback.
20-yard line.
New York set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special runs in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Some tough running, but it only gets him to the 45.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
A couple extra tight ends in the formation here as they line up 3rd and 2. Trying to power ahead with Lane. It's a gain of 3, and it gets him the first.
Tackle made at his 48.
Football's such a game of tendencies, down and distance, and on 3rd and inches, 3rd and 1, you're thinking, man, the fullback's probably going to get the ball, but when you get to 3rd and 2, most of the time, that's either the running back or a pass play. So that's a nice tendency breaker by the offensive team there. Hand it to their big guy to pick up a first down.
Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. And again, they'll go right back to their fullback. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Now Saquon Barkley. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Jones on first down. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this third quarter. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's the Giants with the football and also the lead as we get set to start quarter number 4. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Another try after the first down sack. Jones got a man open. It's Darren Waller.
Jones pass.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Here's Jones, throwing on 3rd and long. That's complete to Slayton. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
Complete to
13 yards, good for a Giant first down. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
But that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
And boy, showing how tough he can be to bring down, just fighting his way forward to pick up 7 yards. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge. I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing. Slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Able to stay in bounds, and the clock keeps rolling. This defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in, and all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake it the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, this game's over.
Yeah, he was able to shed 1 tackle but could not get away from there. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal. 4th quarter, holding on to a lead. Fullback carry, 3 or 4 yards. I guess that's what you're looking for.
And it just brings back memories for me because I remember my coaches in this situation. I remember one time my head coach into his headset telling the offensive coordinator, I want the...
And that is caught. He's got it for a Giant touchdown.
To Darius Slayton.
Darius Slayton with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Giants are able to grow their lead.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
That keeps the score.
Well, they tried to get 2 and ended up getting none because the quarterback had nowhere to go with the ball and ends up getting sacked.
Nowhere to go at all. Great job, though, defensively. They were ready.
Rigoberto Sanchez set to kick off.
Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
25-yard line.
Philadelphia's offense ready to give us another look. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now a man open down the middle of the field. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. The catch and run, good for 24 yards. You cannot write these guys off just yet. Not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. Another nice gain. 16 yards there and a first down again. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
The throw over the middle, taken in, and brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time, and a first down.
At the 23-yard line.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
Let's go.
So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On first down, Hurts. He'll find his man on the comeback route. Complete. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Eagles have cut it back within a score. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a one-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
The PAT good. It would draw him closer, but hold on just a second. A flag is down on the field. When you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all. Now your discipline comes into question. Having poise at this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Giants going to take over again on offense. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
They'll try and run some clock here with Barkley. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. They'll run it again with Barkley. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. The Eagles will take their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Trying to run it to the fullback lane. And this will be a Giants first down as he's got this up to the 40-yard line.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now In this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
They're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. First down for the Giants as they pick up 12. Now that carry just did something significant as well. It pushed him past Jerome Bettis on the NFL all-time rushing list. The bus had 13,662.
And not every carry you get in the NFL is going to be open field, right? A place you can make your cuts. You got to get some of those grimy yards, don't you? You got to go inside and run through people, just as Jerome Bettis did. That's what we've seen him do as well.
Fights loose. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe to get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college and happen in the NFL. The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. That one looks like he'll throw here. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And he's got it. Touchdown, Giants. Darius Slayton with his 13th touchdown of the year and 2nd of the game. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead. So a little icing on the cake there before the clock hits all zeros.
What a way to finish things off. Exactly what you want. Not much time and a touchdown to put things away.
The Giant offense going to stay on the field as they'll go for 2. They'll give it to the fullback up the middle. And he will bowl his way in there for the 2 points.
Giants 34. Eagles.
Nothing fancy there on that 2-point try. Give it to the big boy, let him go to work.
That almost felt like sandlot football that we used to play, didn't it? Biggest guy on your team who can carry the ball, hand it to him and let him rumble.
Nobody picked me on the sandlot football team.
You were quarterback, and I know better.
I was the water boy. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. One final shot. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Picked off by Xavier McKinney. And that will write a finish to this ball game. So a victory here for the men in blue, the New York Giants. And I know I'm not breaking any news when I say that any road win in this league is a good one.
No doubt.
But it's a double bonus when you get a victory on the road in your division.
And when you start a season, each team breaks down their schedule in different ways. Some do it every 4 games, right? Let's go quarterly. Others say, listen, we've got to take care of our home field. And, you know, out of a 16-game season, if you get 8 at home, let's at least win 7 at home and split our road games. That's what you're trying to get done. So you're exactly right. A road win, precious, especially within the division.
So for the Giants, they remain one of the hottest. Win moves them to 6-1. And they'll return home next week to take on the San Francisco 49ers. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, they dipped to 2-5 now with the loss. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Jaguars in Jacksonville. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.